Hello and welcome to the daily audio experience for the 18th of December 2020. And what a crazy day I've had so far. I'm going to basically tell you about my day today from the very start, and since I don't really have much else to talk about, I'm going to talk about this in extreme detail, my day. I'm very tired, both physically and in terms of, losing sleep. And still the day's not over, there's more events to take place. So I'll tell you about my day. It's got some interesting things that have happened so far. So I wake up today, and as I said, I've not been sleeping very well recently. I am, you might say, sleep deprived. I'm not sure why, but I often, when I'm in bed, I think about things, and often I can really just keep thinking, and it's not like I don't think about bad things, I just think about everything. For example, I really just mostly I think about things that have happened in the day. I also think just about life and things that have happened in my life, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit of a daydreamer too, so I do a bit of daydreaming whilst I'm in bed. But I really think about such minimal things at night sometimes, and actually it's quite good because it can make me realise things. Really, and it can make me process the day and really break it down. I don't really do it intentionally. I don't go, okay, now it's time to think about the day. It's just something that happens with my mind, and I don't just do it at night, actually, I do it all day. But it's prominent at night because it means I'm losing sleep, and once you go deep, thing is, I can do about 15, half an hour, minutes of thinking, and I'm fine, I can sleep after that. But if I go past the half an hour mark, that's it. It sucks me in for the rest of the night, and even once I am finished thinking, I still can't sleep for, varying lengths of time. Could be about an hour or longer. I think last night I couldn't get to sleep for 2 hours. Some people probably have it worse than that, I'm sure, I know. But for me that's quite long, and I need every minute of sleep. I'm that kind of guy. I go to bed at around 9, half 9. And I've been told before that some people think I might oversleep. And that's why maybe sometimes I have trouble sleeping. But, when I'm not thinking about things, I do go pretty much straight to sleep at half 9. So I don't think that's too early. Then I wake up at about... I wake up at about 7:30, pretty much every day. Most people maybe will wake up around that time on a weekday, but my brain's just wired, so whatever time I wake up at that time every day of the week. So I wake up on the weekdays at 7:30, and as a result I also wake up at 7:30 on the weekends. So I woke up sleep deprived today. I thought, oh dear. It's a horrible feeling once you know you've missed out on sleep in the morning, because you're thinking, that kind of sucks. You're thinking, now I've got to go through this whole day feeling tired. And it kind of spoils the mood, I would say. But it didn't really spoil the mood actually today. I've enjoyed today. But it is definitely a factor in my day today, the fact that I've had no sleep. So I wake up, I have my breakfast, blah blah blah. By the way, my mum is starting this thing in the household with trying to get us all to drink filtered water rather than tap water. Now, when she first brought this in, I was a bit of a skeptic. I thought, do I really need to bother? Everyone drinks tap water. A lot of people do anyway. A lot of people drink bottled water, I've heard. But a lot of people drink tap water. And I just thought, do I really need to waste my time drinking filtered water? Is it really going to help me that much? Well, apparently There's all sorts in the water, like lead, apparently, you know, and stuff like that. And then you got like microplastics, blah blah blah. And she's worried about her and the family getting cancer. And she's also going on about something to do with it affecting hormones. Don't really know much about that, but perhaps it affects hormones. So actually, at first I was like, a bit of a skeptic. Am I going to really bother with her new fad? Because she has a lot of these sorts of fads. But I actually did a bit of research, and I don't think there's really any disadvantage to drinking it. So I've been drinking it. So I poured myself a glass of filtered water. When I say filtered, we have a jug, and I think it's got like a stick of carbon in there. So you pour your water in from the tap. The water slowly goes through the filter of carbon, and somehow, according to my research, the carbon like soaks up the zinc and stuff like that. Don't know how that really works, but apparently that's what happens. And then it goes through into the jug, and then you can pour it out the jug. So that's what I did. I poured myself some filtered water. I think it does taste nicer than tap water, but I'm not sure because we put the filtered water in the fridge. So I'm not sure if the fridge is just making it nice and cold and nice, you know what I mean? Anyway, I also had my breakfast. I've been trying to eat more recently. That's what, you know, having more cereal and stuff like that. Well, mainly for dinner is what I've been trying to. Well, I've told it's basically her job, really. I basically said, can you just put more food on my plate? Because that's, you know, I'm entitled and all that. She does it for me. But it's fine. I mean, it's her responsibility, really. She just needs to put more food on my plate. So that's what I've been trying to do. And so I had my breakfast, and then the day begun. Now I don't have school. I didn't have school today. My friends did. They go to a different school than me. I go to a college. I go to a welding college. They go to a school which I actually quit halfway through the sixth form course. They still go to that school. I go to a welding college now. They were in school, but my college actually finished yesterday, so I wasn't in school. It's the Christmas holidays, of course. So they're in school, so I'm at home, you know, thinking, you know, I kind of plan my day around these recordings now, I think. I try and go out once a day to record one of these, and and that's kind of what I plan my day around, my outing, going out somewhere. So I figured I'd go out somewhere after lunch. So for the morning I could maybe watch some videos, which is normally what I do. Watch some videos on YouTube. Not that I like doing that. I mean, I do it just because I'm bored, really. But if I had it my way, I wouldn't be watching any of that. I watch YouTube, though, in the morning, and did I do anything else? It was pretty much just YouTube. I also sat and thought a little bit about what I could talk in this episode, and I couldn't really think of anything. So it's lucky that I've had a little bit of an eventful day. Not extremely eventful, but a little bit. Enough to talk about. So, and that's that. So I watched videos. So, but unfortunately, so I have a stepdad. Well, that's two separate sentences. So I have a stepdad, and he works in business. He does all sorts of business, actually, especially now he's branching out. And especially now he's doing a lot of, he's working on stuff. And he does a lot of this certain work that he's onto at the moment, requires a lot of communication over the phone with his colleagues. And my stepdad just normally speaks incredibly loud. Like, it is incredibly loud, just how he naturally speaks. I don't know why. I think he's like, I think he's trying to, like, I don't know, it's some sort of, you could probably get into the psychology of it, but he speaks really loud. And he speaks even louder when he's on the phone. I don't believe it. Like, the sound that the volume that he speaks on the phone is unbelievable. It's seriously unbelievable that he actually thinks he should be speaking that loud on the phone, as if people can't hear him. I'm speaking now to my phone, and you can hear me just fine. And he speaks, let's say, I don't want to get this wrong, but maybe like 20 times louder than how I'm speaking now. It's ridiculous. And I don't even need to be speaking this loud. I could speak this loud and you'd still be able to hear me. You'd be able to hear me just fine. You can actually speak really quietly on the phone and people can hear you just fine. They can just turn the volume up. But he speaks so loud, and I think it's mainly now because, you know, he's speaking even louder at the moment. It's because he's working on all these things at his work, working with all these new people, and, you know, and he's getting, it's a stressful part of his job, what he's doing at the moment. So I understand why he's raising his voice a little bit, but it's not that he's shouting, he's not getting emotional, he's just speaking ridiculously loud. It's ridiculous. And he's speaking on the phone all day because he's doing lots of work at the moment all day. So I'm sitting upstairs and he's downstairs on the phone, and I can hear every single word, and I can hear it, and I'm sitting there on YouTube, and I could put my YouTube video on there on full volume, and he'd still be, from downstairs, it'd still be louder than my YouTube video. I'm not kidding. It's ridiculous, honestly. I can normally handle it whilst sometimes what I do is I just put my earphones in, I watch the video. I can even hear him over having earphones in. I can have the earphones full volume and I still hear him. That's honestly. But I can kind of handle it when I'm watching YouTube because you focus on the video, don't you? But, so yeah. Then what happened was, and by the way, I'm not really going to talk much about, in future, I'm not going to talk much about, like, you know, anything to do with my friends, because they don't want to be talked about, I'm sure. Maybe they do, but I don't want to, you know, talk about them, talk about stuff. I'm not going to talk about what we do, you know. But, you know, it's private. Well, you know what I mean. There's no need for me to so what I'm saying is, you know, you get what I mean. But I will tell you this. Today, group of my friends decided they wanted to go out for a meal this evening. And they asked me if I want to come. And I said, yes, I'd love to come. Which I would love to come. That's what they asked me, and the plan was the meal would be taking place at about 7 o'clock, a decent distance from my house. It's about an hour, well, about 50 minutes to an hour long cycle ride to get there. So 7 o'clock, I think, okay. I think to myself, well, I'll record the video. I won't record the daily audio experience after lunch. I'll record it. What I'll do is I'll wait till 5 o'clock. I'll cycle about halfway to the meal. I'll record the video for an hour, and then I'll cycle the rest. And that was the plan. And that was the plan. Okay. And so what happened was, my stepdad, I can't remember if I've said his name. Have I said his name? I'm not going to say his name, but my stepdad kept going on this phone downstairs. You see, what happens is, my mum delivers. She's part-time deliverer. And when she goes out of the house to do her delivering in the morning, she delivers parcels for, like, a company. When she goes out of the house, my stepdad comes into the house and he speaks on the phone downstairs. When she's in the house, making noise and stuff like that, and he doesn't want to be he wants to focus on the call. He goes into the back, which is fine. He goes into the garage. It sounds a bit silly, but you know what? I'm not complaining. At least he's not doing that sort of volume in the house. But my mum recently has been getting lots of parcels to deliver because it's Christmas, isn't it? So she's out of the house for ages. And that means he is in the house for ages. Booming on the phone. And it's so annoying the way he speaks, because he's so uncreative with his speech. He says the same things, same phrases all the time. Drives me up the wall. And I wasn't watching videos anymore. I was just like, I couldn't watch any I just hearing him all the time. And a great anger was building up inside of me, a really, really great anger. And it got to a point, it was about 2 o'clock. It got to a point where I said, right, screw this, I'm out of here. There was still 5 hours until we were supposed to meet for the meal, but I thought, you know what, screw it. I'll get on my bike, I'll just circle around the area, I'll just you know, just like plod around, I'll do, you know, whatever for 5 hours. But I'm not staying in that house for a minute longer. And that's what I did. I said to my friends, because I don't have data on my phone, I said to my friends, if you need anything to do with this meal, you know, any change of the plan, just text me. And I'm out of here. So I left the house. So what am I going to do for 5 hours, I thought to myself. The first thought I had was to purchase a rear light for my bike, because my old one doesn't work anymore. And especially, you know, it's going to be 7 o'clock when we have this meal, and I'm not sure how long the meal's going to take, or if we're going to do anything after that. But I'm going to be cycling home in the dark, and it's a long journey. It's a type of journey where you need lights on the back of your bike. So my plan was to go down to the bike shop. This was the first part of my 5-hour experience. To go down to the bike shop and to purchase a rear light for my bike. I had £10 in my pocket for the purchase, and I was ready to go. So out of my house I leave. I text my mum, I say, look, you know, she's still delivering, isn't she? I say, look, I'm out of the house until, you know, ages. I say, you know, I'm out of the house, basically, and just letting her know. So I leave, and I cycle down to the shop, and on my way down I notice actually a few people are maybe finished school early, maybe finished school at 12 o'clock. I think that's probably what happened. I'm not really sure, because I haven't really talked about it with my friends, but I'm assuming people must have, I'm assuming school finished like a half day. People left halfway, like at 12 or 1 o'clock or something like that. Because I saw some people from the school. Remember, I used to go to this school last year, but I left it. So I saw people from the school. And once I was getting close to the shop, I saw a group of people that I recognised. They weren't friends of mine, but I did recognise them from the school, and I think they would recognise me. But, you know, they were the type of people where I haven't actually spoken to them, like, well, maybe I've said a couple of sentences. A group of people from my school. And I see them, and I'm cycling past them, and I think, oh, okay. And that's what happens. And I don't know whether they see me or not. But probably not, because I was cycling on the other side of the road, so I doubt they did. And they were all talking amongst themselves. So then I get to the bike shop, which was very close to where these group of people were. They're still walking down the road. I get to the bike shop, put my mask on, I enter the bike shop. I ask the man behind the counter, I say, do you have a, it's a bike shop, by the way, I say, do you have a rear light for a bike? And I'm staring right at all the lights on the wall. And I go, well, you probably do, I suppose. This is just a transcript of our conversation, really. And then he says, yeah, rear light. And I say, yep. And he says, okay. And I say, just the cheapest one, really. And he says, okay, here's this one for £12. I actually am carrying, remember I said I brought £10 for the rear light? Well, I'm actually carrying, I'm carrying more than that, because obviously I brought money for the meal. So I'm carrying more than £10. I'm carrying more than £12, so I could have bought the light. But I figured I brought £10 for the light. The rest of the money was brought for the meal. So I didn't want to risk the fact that I might have no money for the meal. So I said to him, oh, okay. I said, okay, great. And then I said, oh, well, actually, I'll come back for it another time because I don't have enough money right now. It was a lie. I did have the money, but I just didn't want to buy it right then. But I think I will go back and buy it. I mean, £10 though, £12, sorry, I'll buy it off the internet. Much cheaper though. £12, I mean, what is he thinking? You can just buy this stuff off the internet for so much cheaper. Let me just check the time. 20 minutes in, this is going well. Maybe I can get this story to last the whole 60 minutes, that'd be good. But I don't think I will. And my throat is going raw. I've been doing these episodes quite a few days now. The first few days my throat was going raw, and then after that, it was alright. But I'm getting raw again. I guess I wasn't speaking the last 2 episodes, sorry about that. Yeah, I do apologise, they're bad episodes the last 2. But hopefully I think this one's going alright so far. So anyway, remember, I walk out the shop. Okay, thank you, no real light. I walk out the shop, and I see that group of people. Remember I was talking about those group of people from my school? I see them walking up, they're kind of really close to me now. I don't really, I don't know, I know who these people are, but I'm not here to make conversation. And they wouldn't want to make conversation. We're not, So I walk out the shop and I don't even look at them. Oh, frick. I forgot such an important part of the story, I can't believe it. So before I entered the shop, I've really messed up the story. I was doing so well. Before I entered the shop, because remember I cycled down, so I had to lock up my bike somewhere. On the other side of the shop there was a lamppost, and I locked my bike. I have a bike, you could call it a chain, but actually it's a rubber, well, like a plastic tube. I tubed it to the lamppost, and then I walked in the shop, asked for the light, didn't have one, left the shop, and these group of people that I was talking about were walking right up, so now we're all caught up to where we were, but it was important to know that I locked up my bike to the wall. So I leave the shop. Remember that group of people are there. They're not actually important to the story, but I think it adds to the effect. And then I cross the road to get my bike. But 2 young girls come round the corner. And when I say young, I mean 4 or 5 years old. And they come right and stand right next to my bike. And I'm the type of guy, I feel a little bit, I'm an awkward kind of guy sometimes. Especially something like this, where you've got 2 young girls standing next to your bike. I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm so close to the bike at this point. Do I say, get out of the way? Or do I just, if those just carried on standing right next to my bike, or just carried on walking and pretended it wasn't my bike, to be honest. But I didn't do that. One of the girls started to lie on my bike, which is fine. It's chained up to the lamppost, of course, so it's not going to fall over, or so I thought. She leans on the bike, and I guess I just didn't chain it up. I remember, I guess I just didn't chain it to the bike. I just put the chain around the lamppost. The bike falls and lands in the road, because I put it on the side that was facing the road. The bike lands in the road, in the middle of the road, and the front light, I mean, how ironic is this? The front light of my bike, and I was just trying to buy a rear light, breaks off the front light and breaks in half, and the batteries fall out onto the road. And the bike's on the road, the batteries and everything's on the road, and it sounds like the bike was just destroyed, but it was really just the front light got broken off. And that group of people on the other side of the road were laughing, because this young girl had just wrecked someone's bike. And then I carry on walking, and I pick up the bike off the road, and they start laughing even more, because obviously they've just realised it was my bike. and I'm picking up the bike and I'm picking up the pieces, and you know, luckily I'm not affected by that kind of stuff. But these were just laughing. The young girl was there. I was there picking up stuff off the road, and there was this group of, like, as I say, about 7 people was there, all just laughing. And they stopped walking as well, and they were just laughing at it. And I'm picking up everything off the road, and then the mother of the 2 kids shouts down from the other end of the road. She goes, "Sorry about that." And I say, "Oh, it's okay." It was okay. She broke the front light of the bike, but I've actually got 2 front lights, and the one she broke wasn't the one I use. So lucky for her, it really was no big deal. Although I think something has been a bit messed up. So I think the braking system, maybe. Something sounds a bit weird when I turn the handle to the right. But these group of people, and I looked at the group of people, like, gave them a little smile, I suppose. It wasn't a smile. Do you know the way sometimes, I don't know if you might do it too, but I sort of do this thing where I don't smile, I just widen my mouth. I keep it closed and I widen my mouth, like, sort of thing. It's like a friendly gesture. It's not a smile, it's just like I made the face for you to see there, but you can't see me. I just sort of, you know what I mean. So I pick up my bike and I say, "Oh, you know, I think the kid started crying." I didn't even speak or say anything to the kid. I think the kid was probably crying because of the people laughing on the other side of the road. She might have thought that they were laughing at her, which they were, I think, because one of them said, "Hey, she's just teared your bike." He said that to me, and stuff like that was being said. Since I'm dragging this story out so much, it sounds like this was like an event that took, you know, this was like a whole big thing, but actually it was really took place over about a minute. And the people carried on walking after a few seconds. I really have stretched it out to a point where it sounds like it was a whole big drama. But really, she pushed the bike into the road. I picked it up. They started laughing. The mum calls, "Sorry about that." I say, "It's alright." I get on my bike and I leave. Now someone is approaching me. So I probably will have to go quiet now. And it's very dark at the moment, so it's an eerie atmosphere. I haven't got to the point where I explain why it's dark, but it's getting very close. So goodbye for a minute. Okay, I've definitely got something to say about him, but I'll wait till he's definitely walked right away. And I'll carry on talking about the story. Well, that's pretty much the main event, because I get on my bike and I cycle off. Actually, because that group of people had walked on a bit at that point. I get on my bike and I actually cycle past these people again. And they notice me. And they're like, I don't even know what they said, but they're like, "Hey," you know, stuff like that. And I gave them a thumbs up. So, you know what, it was a pretty wholesome experience. I felt a little bit bad for the kid, because I think she was crying. Well, I know she was crying. I'm assuming she was crying about the whole event. On the topic of that man, why is he just walking? I mean, I'm at the end of a park. Why is he walking to the end of the park? He saw me and he thought, you know what, I'm going to walk. This is what I just don't get. When I'm recording these things, I'm sitting there with my phone right up against my mouth. I'm sitting there like chilling out, and people think, which way am I going to walk? Which direction? And then they just walk in my direction. I find it just unbelievable. Also, his dog did a shit. I watched it happen, and he didn't do anything about it. He might not have seen, to be fair to him, but still. So, back to the story, which really that was the main body of it, but I'll just tell you what else has happened. So I cycle around. I was really cycling slowly. I stopped in a few places, walked around a bit. Then I got up to the area. I got to the point where the whole journey, right, I was looking for somewhere to record this audio. When I'm looking for places to record, and I used to do YouTube videos. When I say that, it was just a fun thing that me and my friends did. Nobody really watched the videos, but when I did, you know, I put a bit of effort into them. And when I was making like the ones where I would speak, I would always try and find the places to record it that were secluded, so that no one would be walking past. And I would try and find places that are comfortable. And that's the same sort of approach I've been using for making these. Can you hear that bird, by the way? Very loud. But that's the same sort of approach I've been using for these episodes. I've been looking for places that are, well, first of all, quiet to a degree. I know my first episode was quite noisy, and a few of them have been quite windy, which I apologise for. There's not much I can really do about the wind, but I've tried to choose places that are relatively secluded. Today you might be able to hear some cars, but I am a decent distance from them, so it's not so bad, I hope. But try and find places that are secluded. So that's what I was looking for as I was cycling through. Looking for secluded places that are quiet and that people won't be walking through, because I don't feel comfortable talking like this to my phone when people are walking past. Thing is, for all they know, I'm just on a phone call, but it just makes me uncomfortable. I have to stop speaking, so for the sake of the show, I've got to find places where not many people pass through so I can actually carry on talking. So I was looking out for somewhere that was secluded. Also, I look out for places that are comfortable. You know, you've got somewhere to sit. I can't just stand in the middle of a field for an hour. I could, but I do care a bit about my image. So I've got to look for somewhere I can sit down. But I was looking for these sort of conditions and I couldn't really find anything. Close to me, I know where to go. I know all the nice places. But the further away from home I go, the less familiar I am. So I couldn't really find a place. Before I know it, I was all the way at the area where the meal is. You know, that's that area. Not exactly there, but... And I was looking around still for a place. And I tried a few places, but they were too noisy or too... I mean, I like to also have a good view of my surroundings, because I don't want people sneaking up on me, you know, walking around the walls and then they're like, oh, hello, you know. I want to have a good view of my area so that I can see people approaching. And that's what I did. I found this place. Well, I didn't find this place, I just forgot about it actually. I knew of it before. I thought, oh yeah, I'll have to go there. So I cycled up. It's so close to where the meal is as well. I'm right here, and right now it is 4:30. 7 o'clock is the meal. This recording will finish at about 5 o'clock. So I'll still have 2 hours to spare, and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. The problem with this place that I'm in right now is very dark because there's no lights. It's a bit of a creepy atmosphere, but it's fine really, and it's nice and secluded because where I'm sitting there's a path. I'm sitting off the path, so no one's coming close really except for that one guy. So it's nice and secluded, and it's relatively quiet, I think. And I've got a good view sitting on a bench so I can look all the way around. But really I don't have to, I'm just looking in the same direction. You can see both entrances to the park when you look this way, so you know everything that's happening. I can see everyone from here. Someone's leaving right now, and in a minute, once she's left, I've got the park to myself. So you see, I can see everything from here. It's a nice place. It's a bit cold today, luckily I brought my coat. So yeah, it's been a bit of a interesting day. Mainly because obviously it had that interesting event with the my bike getting pushed into the road. By the way, it's lucky no cars were passing. Well, for a start, I mean, I was thinking, it's crazy how like I don't want to say perfect, but how poetic that whole thing was. Literally the bike, so first of all the bike got pushed over right when I was returning to it. It got pushed over right in front of me. Which is ridiculous when you think about it. I was thinking, like, if somebody was tasked, like a professional writer was tasked to write this scene, and they were given a few months to work out how to present this story in the best way, it would turn out just like it did. I was literally on the way, right the way back, like really close to the bike, and she pushes it right over in front of me. And imagine if I wasn't there. Imagine if I was still in the shop trying to get my rear light. It's lucky I didn't buy it. If I bought that light, see how things happen, makes you think. But if I bought that bike, that would have stalled me for time, and I would have walked back out onto that road. My bike would have been in the middle of the road. My light would be smashed along the floor with the batteries out on the road. There'd probably be cars stopped behind it because it's a thin road. And that's what I would walk out to. So it's kind of lucky that I got there in time. She pushes out onto the road, and it's lucky that there was no cars passing. Imagine if she pushed the bike out and it hit into a car. Could have quite easily happened. Now I feel a bit uncomfortable because I see a group of teenagers enter the park. I might, one of them's got like a stick, so I'm going to act casual and pretend I'm on my phone. So what I'm doing right this moment is I've got my phone in front of me, but I'm just speaking to it, so it looks like I'm scrolling through my phone. In reality, I'm just staring at the screen whilst talking. And luckily for me, the group of young people are not coming to attack me. They're just passing through the park. I wouldn't normally be concerned about getting attacked, but it is dark here. It does make you a bit wary, doesn't it? Especially when you're talking to your phone. But I'm not really wary about that sort of thing. Thing is, I am actually wary about that sort of thing, but I just kind of don't let myself. See, if I wasn't talking to this phone and telling you my every feeling, and you were just watching me, you would have just thought that I'm not bothered. And I'm not really bothered, but it just puts me, and I'm not really on edge either. When those people passed through, I just thought to myself, I just thought, I'm not on edge or anything like that. Got about 20 minutes left. and we're all caught up in terms of what I've done today. I managed to really drag that story out. Didn't think I'd be able to get it that long. But I'm all caught up. As I say, it's 4:40. Gonna finish this episode at 5 o'clock, and then I've got 2 hours to do whatever I want to do, and I really don't know what I want to do. If it wasn't so dark, I'd maybe cycle around. I mean, I tried to buy that real light so I could... I've just realised, I don't know. For a second I thought I had no lights now because I don't have my rear light, and I thought the front light had broken off, but actually, as I said before, I had 2 front lights. Luckily, the one that broke was not the one I use. So, yeah, but the problem is I don't have the rear light, and cycling around the roads with a rear light, without a rear light is a bit edgy. In the dark, of course, cars come through. It's a bit edgy. And I'm getting a bit cold now. Got a nice coat on, but it's how I'm feeling right now. I zipped it right up. But damn, it's getting cold. I think, yeah, it's probably getting colder, isn't it? Now that it's dark. If I wasn't doing this app, I'd go for a walk. Or cycle. But I can't really do 2 things at once. I can't speak down the phone and go for a walk. I could actually quite easily, but once I start walking, that means I'm walking past people. And as I said earlier, I'm not a fan. But I had something I was going to talk about for a second there, and I've forgotten it. Oh, 1 second, I'm getting a call. I don't know if this is going to end the recording, and I don't know if he's going to want to be on the recording, but oh well. Okay, that did end the recording. I answered the call, and that ended the recording. Basically, as I said earlier, I'm not really about the life of telling you everything that my friends are doing, or I don't want to do that, but since this is something related to me, I'll mention it. He basically said that perhaps we could have the meal earlier, at about 6 perhaps. So that's nice. Good for me at least, because, you know, what am I going to do? But it did end the recording, answering a call. I wasn't sure whether it would end the recording, but it did. Now, I've thought a lot about what do I do if a recording gets ended, for various reasons, and damn it, what I should have done was just said text me. Oh well. I thought, what do I do if a recording gets ended? And it could get ended maybe because of a lack of storage, possibly. Could get ended because of answering a call, as we've just found out. And I thought, what do I do? Originally my thought was, because remember the whole point of this is no cuts. There's no cuts in the audio. There's no edits. It's just an hour of recording. So I thought, if that were to happen, I'd just put, a black, cut the audio for the just have empty audio for the rest of the hour. But now that I'm in the moment, and it's actually just happened to me, ended the audio. Because see, my phone, it doesn't work like that. If you're playing a video, it ends the recording. I wish it didn't, because I could play stuff for this show, but I can't. If you're playing a video, it stops it. If you're playing a song, and now we've learned that if you're answering a call, it's a big shame. But that's the end of so that would be the end. But now I'm in the moment, and it's just happened. I don't think it's right to end it here. So I figured I'm going to carry on for the last 18 minutes, and probably about the last 16 minutes at this point. And this is a second chunk of audio, but literally I answered the call and then I started the recording again, so you've not missed much. But for future, I suppose, if something like that does happen where the recording is ended against my will, I will just record a second chunk of audio, and I won't just leave the audio blank like I thought I was going to. So this would be the first cut, actually, in the Daily Audio Experience, you know, career, whatever. The first time there's been a cut, which means I'll actually have to, well, won't be any harder for me. The whole reason I don't want to do any cutting or editing is this is supposed to be quantity over quality, just spewing out an episode every day. And I figured that if sorry, my mind got distracted then. I started thinking about things. What was I even talking about? I've completely forgotten. What was I saying? I was talking about, I was talking about the audio. Oh yeah. So the reason I don't want cuts is because quantity over quality. I just want to spew out episodes so people have something every single day. I don't want it to get tricky. I don't want this process to become tricky. I want it to be really easy for me. I just record and upload, easy stuff, and it's fun. Talking for an hour, it's fun. Trying to make interesting things about it, it's fun. So I figured that, and I figured no cuts, no edits, just upload. That's what I've been doing. What's taken up most of my time, when I say most, hardly any, it's really easy to do, is making the thumbnails. But it's so easy to do. I just take a picture first of all, easy. And then I go on this website which I use, and I just delete the last picture that was there, from the previous episode. I put in the new one, I move the text around a little bit, and I change the colours. It's easy. Then I upload it. Now, exporting the video from the editing software. When I say editing, it's just to put the image and the audio together. There's no edits. Exporting from there literally takes about an hour. I mean, you can't blame it, it's a long video, an hour. Oh yeah, so I guess that's a minute. It takes an hour to produce an hour video. But that's fine. I just means I can't use my phone for about an hour, but I appreciate that. I just use a laptop anyway. Just play Doodle Jump for an hour. Then after that, I have to upload the video to YouTube, which takes about 20 minutes. You might think, damn, that's pretty quick, because YouTube is known for, it takes a while to upload your videos. I've got really good internet in my house, that's why it's quick. So the videos, they get uploaded in 20 minutes, which I think is pretty good. So the whole process takes up about, if you exclude the fact that I travel to the locations to record, if you exclude the travel time, it takes me an hour to record, an hour to export, and an hour and 20 minutes plus 10 minutes making the thumbnail. Well, not really, but you can roughly round it up to about 2.5 hours. But the thing is, one of those hours where I export the video is not effort. I just do something else whilst my phone does it, so that's not a problem. And neither is when it's uploading it to YouTube, because I can just carry on doing things. It's no biggie. The only thing that takes up my time is the recording, really, and it takes me about 5 minutes to put the audio into the software and put the image over it, blah blah. That's what takes up the most time, but it's really not long at all. Shivering. I'm cold. But let's see how long. So when I stopped the recording before, it was at 42 minutes. Oh, okay, my friend has just messaged me again. Okay. He says he's gonna get a bit more charge on his phone and then he's gonna come and meet me. Now, when did he send that text? I can't remember. He sent that at 44 minutes past. So that's probably after the phone call, right? I don't know. I won't reply to his message. If he turns up soon, he's going to be on the show. Because I've still got about 10 minutes left. Unfortunately, since this is in 2 recordings, I don't really know. Normally I say goodbye at like the last second of the recording because I can see the timer. But for today, I'm not going to know when that last second is. And if he comes now, I kind of want to get some food from Morrison's, you know, the shop. Because we're eating at Prezzo. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. One of my mottos was to not reveal anything about location. But we're eating at a place. And we've not got the 2-for-1 offers. So I was thinking about getting some food from the supermarket beforehand. But anyway, about 10 minutes left. What am I going to talk about for the last 10 minutes? So in future, as I've just kind of explained, if it gets cut against my will, I will do a second segment, which I think is the right thing to do. So it's very cold and my hands are getting cold. What I'm doing is I'm taking it in turns to put one hand in my pocket and the other hand holding the phone, and then I swap. That's what I've been doing to keep one hand warm. It's so dark, it's dark and cold. Every one of these videos has been uncomfortable in some way. I've not had one, even the one in my house got interrupted. Had to cook my lunch, it was stressful, and there's not been one comfortable video yet. One day I'll get to record one in my house with no interruptions. That'll be how I get a comfortable one. You know, talking about my stepdad and the amount of volume that he produces really got me thinking, and I've been thinking about it recently, but especially after today, I want to live on my own ASAP. I'm 18 now, and I don't know when most people actually, you know, most people leave their parents' house. But I want to get out there ASAP. I don't dislike my mum, but I'm not the kind of guy who likes to live with I don't like it. I just don't like living in my house. I want to live on my own. And it'd be great, even more so now, because I could record these videos in my house. Or, well, I don't need a house, by the way. I'm just talking a flat. I don't work yet, though. So, I feel like you should probably be working before you own your own place. Otherwise, it's a bit silly, isn't it? Now let me just check my phone again. Okay. Bloody hell, it's cold. wish I could go for a walk. You know what I might do actually? Because I think we've had a really good episode today. I think as a host I've done alright. I think the audio has probably been okay. Not too windy. And I think we've talked about some interesting things, so I might actually keep the audio rolling, but say goodbye. You can listen to just the static or whatever for the last hour. I'll say goodbye, and I will actually go over to the supermarket and maybe grab some food. Or perhaps I could grab it after the meal. That's probably best. But I do need the toilet. I'd like to do that before the meal. So I think I can't do that. I can't carry on the recording whilst I go to the toilet. So maybe I will go to the supermarket. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Okay. So I'm just thinking about things, but see if I don't know, let me think. 14 minutes left. Sorry, 6 minutes left. Okay, I'm gonna go to the supermarket. So that's the end of me talking. I think this has been a really good episode. Let me know what you thought. Oh, by the way, I should have said this at the start, but I have made a Discord. The Discord is for this show, and it's for, if I can get a few people in there, like quite a few, then what I can actually do is when I'm at home recording an episode, I can hop on Discord, I can say in the server, I can say, I'm online, I'm recording an episode. Sorry, I smell weed. I can say I'm online, I'm recording an episode, and I can say, hop onto the voice chat, and we can do an interview, or something like that. Oh my god, I think I can actually see where the weed is coming from. It's all the way over there, and I managed to smell it. I'm in the wind. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna make a Discord. I have made a Discord, sorry, and the link to it will be in the description. Now, I've got to go. Where am I gonna go? Well, yeah, I've got to go. But the recording will carry on for about 4 or 5 minutes. So enjoy the rest of the audio. Thanks for listening. I think it's been a good episode, and goodbye.